Hey folks, welcome back to another HB Gaming GameLINK video. We have another Kickstarter unboxing for you today, one of epic proportions. We are going to be dropping straight down into that arena, competing in a bit of a battle royale and trying to, get our cybernetics on as we take a look at Kolossal Games RELOAD. Hey folks, welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, and you should by now, my name is Matt, and I'm sure that we are going to be the very best of friends. If you have watched the channel before, welcome back. Thank you very much. It's very exciting to have you with us once again. As I said in the tease, we are taking a look at Kolossal Games RELOAD, which is an epic game of battle royale, cybernetic enhancements, and crazy sort of fun for 2 to 4 players. There are many different play modes of this one. This is a build your own sort of map and go at it head to head until someone wins or completes their fame track, doing any number of things from stunts or knocking off other opponents, all that sort of stuff. You do get to respawn in this one because it is basically a battle royale version of PUBG. But because we love you, we've got this one here. We also have the team sponsor character pack, which gives you more players to play as, the Rumble module, which adds more map tiles and everything else as well, and the Capture the Flag mode too, which adds Capture the Flag mode to the Reload base game. Pretty straightforward. So we're going to get through all these, folks, and sort of give you an idea about how this all works. I believe too that some of these Rumble packs and things add players to the game too, which is awesome. We also potentially will lose power today because it is absolutely crapping its dacks here at Melbourne weather-wise. We have an Arctic, or an Antarctic blast, I should say, that is coming up from the south. So it is mighty cold here, which is a great reason to stay inside and play board games. So let's have a look here and see what this game is all about. You can see this crazy sort of cartoon-style artwork, almost comic book-like, I guess, for lack of a better term. Kolossal, obviously, for those of you who, I think we backed a couple of projects from them. The biggest one of note that I've got a copy of is Terrors of London, which is a very much Victorian-era deck-building game of epic horror monster movie proportions. Fantastic. If you haven't played it, check it out. This is a different game entirely. This is basically, Battle Royale PUBG as a board game style of thing, where you'll use dice to fight in combat, which puts me shit out of luck, for lack of a better term, because I suck at dice rolling games, as my daughter Charlotte will tell you. There is a plethora of stuff here. There is dice for days. There are different minis that you can use, different characters you can play as, and take the fight to that you've got to complete this fame track thing. You can build walls, you can build shields, all that sort of cool stuff. And basically, it's a game I think that is 45 minutes playtime. It's not meant to last a long time. It's meant to last long enough for you to get your enjoyment out of it, but not long enough that it's going to lag and carry on, particularly for those that aren't seasoned gamers that like heavy games. I don't think it's set in the future. There's mega corporations effectively. Hang on, let me just get the plastic off here. The plastic, of course, goes on the floor. Mega corporations are trying to build the best elite soldiers and sell them off to different governments, so they put you in as cybernetic enhanced humans, metahumans, to effectively fight to the death and respawn and repeat and so on. Live, die, repeat, Edge of Tomorrow sort of stuff. So there is, the artwork's nice, the box is quite cool. Hot that one over to the side. Oh, hello, we've got a bit of a problem here. Actually, no, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's just the way they've put it in. So these are the fame tracks, and they've got a couple that are already assembled. So the blue ones here are assembled. They're dual layered. I don't know if you can see that on the overhead. So you'll start from this end and start putting your scoring wedges through. And if you make it to the star, you win the game. So there are 4 scoring tracks here in 2 different colors, blue and red. I think maybe I've got this wrong, but it looks like these, I know they're just in different pieces. So you've got 4 different tracks there, because obviously it's a game for 4 players, and you obviously will be fighting to the death to try and score the most VP and boost your track closest to the start first. You've got the hub map. Oh, so this is a map board. That's cool. That's cool. So you've got different layouts, 3 to 4 players. This talks about how to set up the tiles and how to set up the tokens, where to spawn supply drops, things like that. Port Lazetta, Imperia, Jade, Rivals, District 21, Metropolex, and there's a maze in that one as well, which is awesome. And then you've got the hub as well. Different spawn locations, hospital tokens, all that sort of stuff. Portals as well, which is quite cool. That's awesome. This looks like it's some sort of rule book. Rule book, yes, maybe, and there's reference sections here. So it's all pretty straightforward. You've got your different character tokens, a breakdown of what everything is, wall tokens, how to set up starting equipment, how to set up the different boards, how to set up the Fame and Achievements board, your player boards, that sort of jazz, which is very, very cool. We'll pop that to the side. Now, this one here is a player aid, which is pretty straightforward. I will say the paper is not... let me preface this by saying that I have done another unboxing earlier today, and those of you who have watched the channel will know that game was my father's work, which is just... It's hard. I should have done this one first. The paper stock for Reload is okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's not the quality that we saw in that other game and a couple of other games that I've unboxed recently or played with recently. It's going to serve the purpose, but I also know that it's potentially highly damageable, particularly with the junior gamers that I have in this house. However, moving on, events and things, you've got attributes, ability icons, and there's 2 of those. So I guess the fact that you can have them side by side is kind of cool, and they're reasonably able to be read by everybody, so they don't have to be smaller, but having 1 per player would have probably been better. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. The Fame and Achievements board is there. Now, it's called Fame and Achievements board, but it is just a bit of card, which is okay. Like, whatever, it's fine. So you've got the reward tokens you'll put here, the cards, and then obviously as you complete objectives, you can gain the rewards and fame for your fame track for those. You've got character boards here. So this is Korat, and I think, are they double-sided? Yes, they are double-sided. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is there. They could just be double-sided because different point values maybe. And then you've got Duke, who's got this crazy gun action sort of stuff. You've got Dax, who likes to flip around and do all sorts of crazy things. He's the acrobat and a melee fighter, perhaps. Looks like Korat has like masks. Maybe that's different factions that they're a part of. And Blitz, who is obviously very, very speedy. Different characters you can play as, which is awesome. And then you've got tokens and punch-outs for days. Oh my gosh, there is so many of them. Now that I like. So the tokens themselves, the map tiles are, they're reasonably quite thick. Effectively, they're not quite, I think they're almost like Catan hexes, for lack of a better term, to give you an idea, which is fine. You've got supply drops. So if you pick up a supply drop that's on the board like that, you pick it up and you pop it in your fame track. So what I will do is I'll keep a couple of these handy and show you what the fame track, how it looks like when things start to get punched out. There is a ton of punch outs, not just tiles, different map tiles and things as well. There's a maze, which is very cool. And then you've got these little traps that you can lay down to cause trouble for your opponents as well. And basically, anything you do that's going to hinder or destroy an opponent is going to get you fame points in this game. The biggest scoring point for you is this reload token. If you eliminate someone, effectively frag that player, you grab one of these reload tokens. You're effectively causing them to respawn. And because it's the name of the game, it scores you the most fame points and the most progress on your track. So you've got different map tiles. I do like the variety of the map tiles, I will say that. There is a lot of options to rebuild and replay all of the maps, particularly now that there is multiple maps in that box and in the other boxes we've seen. Then you've got the shields or the blockades. So the blockades are represented for the different players. So that's obviously the Korat's one. So other players will need to make checks and things to make sure they can go through those, which is quite cool. You've got blue and red tokens, spaces maybe, if that's what that is. More reload tokens. And then you've got your generic ones. If you do team mode, because you can play this as a team game as well, which is very, very cool. And then you've got other objective tokens and whatnot there. You have, now these are, what have we got here? We've got some what look like poison tokens. edge tokens, which are sort of warping you around the map. You've got neutral shields on the back, different tokens for different things. You've got, these are tokens for the different players, I believe, trap tokens and who they belong to. There could be victory points there. I'm not entirely sure. I would check that for you. Are they victory point tokens? 3-star supply box. So the supplies that you can pick up off the board potentially change depending on the level of the supplies that you pick up. And then you've got these ID filler tokens for your team, and then you've got the different player character tokens there as well. Transport portals, different traps as we talked about before. And then this I dig. This is a storage solution. It's very simple, but it's got enough space for all the different tokens and things as well. There is nothing underneath there, unfortunately. No hidden surprises. But then you've got all the different storage solutions and elements, which is cool. Cards that you can put in their card holders. The minis are literally in a plastic bag. I get why they did it. It's not a big budget box game with minis and everything else as well. It is much more entry level, low budget, but at the same time, I don't want to say low budget, that sounds terrible, medium budget, but at the same time, having the minis just in a little plastic is not great for storage and things as well. And then you've got the mini dice for days. Now I will say, obviously dice games are not my forte, but as anyone watching the channel will be able to tell you. However, I do like the components of the dice. They're nice, they're tiny, but they do the job. There's plenty there. I hate when you're playing a game and you have to find substitutes for dice or re-roll dice you've already rolled. That pisses me off. So to have all these different dice that you can then use pretty much throughout the game, no problems, and there's enough dice here, I imagine, for every player, that's kind of cool. I do like the 1 pip, or is it? Yep, no, it's a 6. 6 is usually a success, and it's a skull and crossbones, which is cool. One other thing I really like, these are not screen printed dice, they are etched. So the pips, the skulls, everything else are actually etched into the dice, which means they will last and last and last. And that, my friends, is a big tick. There are some other big box games I've opened up recently that have screen printed dice, high quality screen printed dice, but screen printed nonetheless. So I'm digging the fact that we've got etched dice here. And most importantly, they work. They work because I know I've rolled a 1. Typical me. So that's all the dice. They look fantastic. We'll come back to the minis in a second. Let's have a look at some cards. Now the cards, I think there's event cards. There is cards. There's a lot of cards actually for what I thought. Supply cards, items and weapons and things you can pick up that you can use against your enemies. All that cool junk. I'm going to get those out of there. And while we're here, we'll open up these ones too. Again, there's ring pulls. I need a beer. There are tabs on these ones, pull tabs. Gosh, I do it every time. But I just find using the knife is a lot faster. It makes less noise. Plastic on the floor. Let's go through. Okay, so player aids. Smaller player aids on the actions you can do on your turn, and the card stock is actually really nice. That I'm digging. So unrestricted actions, restricted actions, I like that. They are cool, and there is 1 per player. Again, it's double-sided, so you have to sort of chop and change, but that's okay. We can deal with that. Let's have a look what we've got here. We have these are 1-star boxes for supplies. There you go. And all the different backs are contained therein. And then you have that time event cards. Maybe that's events and things that happen. I could be wrong. And then you've got the achievement cards. Now let's pull those out and we'll try and go through them all together. Let's sort this out a little bit. So we've got here, So then you've also got a reference card for each character, which is cool. This gives you a bit of flavor text there. When resolving a supply box token, draw 1 additional card. That's kind of cool. And then you've got all the different 5 action dice and components you need for each player. So it tells you what you need to take. That's very good. I like that. So if you draft a card and then it tells you exactly what you need component-wise, that's good. I'm digging that. We've got level 3 boxes for items, level 2 boxes for items, and the rest of the level 1 items as well. Items first, events first. What do we think? Let's look at achievements first. So these are the achievement or fame cards. Achievement cards, there's 8 of them total. So things like, cause someone to reload. You can win that event and get the reload token. Reload for marksman. 3, oh, is that treasures? Oh, okay. So these might get shuffled up and dealt, and they're placed on the board. And if you achieve the achievement objective, you flip the card and you get the bonus. So double trouble, for example. Double trouble, 2 tokens for your fame track. Reload, 3 reload tokens. Oh, so if you get 3 reload tokens, you get that achievement. Okay. If you pick up 3 of the treasures or the supply drops, you get the achievement. And this is podium finish, game end. This is immediately you score that one. If you're a mechanic and lay a trap, jack of all trades. So if you get 1 of each at the end of the game, you get this one, collector, and they must be worth different points depending on where they are on that achievement board. That's very cool. Again, if I get anything wrong, I will let you know in the either comment section below, or it'll appear on the bottom of the screen, and pop those in here. We have these time cards. Now the time cards, what are these? Double-sided player aid sheets, matchbook, rulebook, cards for days, equipment cards, event cards. Yes. Okay. So these are events here with the time, the hourglass on them, and things like contamination, which means all contamination places get added to 1, following the map icons, those little diamonds we saw before. So different parts of the board. So this one has a 1 on it. So from there, that place gets contaminated, etc. Contaminate 1, contaminate 2, 3, 4, 5, and obviously contaminate everyone. More contamination cards. Supply drop of level 2 and level 3 somewhere on the board. That's cool. The dome, whatever this means, maybe it's like extra icons and things. Earthquake, all mountains do damage, maybe. That's a gift from the sponsors. Another gift from the fans. The Fool's Cap, which gives you this little token. The Hunter's Crown. X Tech Drop, more Tech Drop. Shockwaves, gift from the producers. Oh my goodness. Lots of supply drops. An announcement, which happens at potentially game end, and trophies, or maybe it's trophy change. Maybe it's a change of all the different trophies. We change things out. The host is going to mix it up a bit just to mess with you all, which, I mean, is very Hunger Games, let's be honest. And then we've got the item drops. So we've got here the item drops at level 1 star. So these are okay, good to have, not necessarily something you're going to win the game with. Painkillers, which will give you a healing point. And more painkillers, stun grenade. Now we're talking. Stun grenades, a grenade itself. The iconography is not the best. I'll have to figure out what that means. I'm not sure what this little symbol means. Explosive trap, that makes sense. An energy drink, which gives you the green energy drink die that we saw earlier. That's kind of cool. Add that to your pool. Collapsible baton, which is a weapon. Obviously, tactical explosive. AP ammo, so it gives you action points to target and attack people with, +1 die. A light helmet, toolkits, a sickle, which is a weapon, that's fair enough. A riot vest, help with armor and stuff like that. A bow and arrow, which is cool. You can use that as an extra weapon. And it maybe talk about range and things. 2-handed weapon, that makes sense. Okay, let's pop that one in there. Then we've got the 2-star items, which are these ones here. And we've got an assault. Okay, so now we're talking an assault rifle, which has a range. Is it range of 0 to 1? Is that what that means? Assault rifle, crossbow, more crossbows, hand cannon. Yes, please. Machine gun, semi-automatic pistols, precision rifle. It hits on a 3 or a 2 or a 1. Is that what that means? Rocket launcher. A pump action shotgun, brilliant, and it shows how many hands they use. A combat shotgun, sniper rifle, submachine gun, survival knife, 2-hand axe, gosh, machete, more machetes, a tactical tomahawk, not just a tomahawk, but a tactical one. There you go, military helmet, med kit. Oh, so the military helmet cancels someone else's success. Maybe that's what that is. Military vest does the same. So, okay, now we're getting somewhere. These guys mean business. And then, of course, we've got the level 3 items. Now, these are obviously going to be something that's going to be quite highly sought after and very much contested. The X01 sniper rifle, which offers up potentially 2 successes on a hit. Ouch. X02 neutralizer, repulsor, translocator, so teleportation device, plasma gun, Quad-Rai launcher. Jesus, this is getting crazy. A power glove, very 80s. Sniper disintegrator, a V cannon, active camouflage, warrior chainsaw, shock gauntlet, adrenaline mask, healing armor. Healing armor cancels out a success but also gives you extra health. Sniper helmet and Johnny's bullhorn. I'm assuming Johnny is the host and just calls out problems. I could be wrong. Wow. All right. Now, let's have a look. One thing I do want to show you just quickly, I'm going to bring out one of the tracks here. Blue or red? Blue, or let's go blue. Blue looks good. So there's the fame track, okay? So you will have your player character here. So let's see, we've got, let's do, whoops, I'm popping things out as we go here. Let's go Dax. So we've got Dax here. That slides in there. So I know I'm playing as Dax, that's my character. And then say I go through and I pick up a supply drop and I make my way through. So the game ends when someone reaches that star track, but just because they reach the star track first doesn't necessarily mean they win the game. Obviously there's awards and things that get handed out, all that sort of stuff. But as you play through, so say you get an achievement from the board, you play a trap, you knock somebody off the map and cause them to have to reload or restart, which gets you the reload bonus. So as you add icons, you increase your fame track, and obviously once you cross that line, the game ends. At the end of that round, you score points and see who is the most famous across the networks, which is cool. I like it. Now we've got all the tokens here, easy to slide out as well, which is very, very cool. I'm going to show you the minis. Now it says here, to our valued customers, in order to avoid breaks in the minis, we chose a more elastic plastic to resist breakage. As a result, they could be bent during packaging and transportation process. This can be easily corrected by placing the mini under warm water and adjusting the affected area to proper shape. Please be careful not to burn yourselves. Thanks. Look, I get why they've done what they've done. I think in the past they've had campaigns where minis have been snapped or broken, and they've obviously had to refill quite a lot of components. But then I think about Wild Serengeti and Bad Comet Games, who produced that game. They volunteered, they watched our unboxing, and with rockstar support sent out replacement parts. That is a fantastic game, and definitely something that you should look at. You can check out the unboxing and the reviews here. But it's just, I just don't understand. I mean, look, let's have a look at the minis first, and then we'll make a judgment on those. But I just think, there's other ways that's a bit, I don't know if that's a cop-out. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below what you think about that. All right, for example, this guy here is our sprinter, and he is effectively going sideways. So effectively what we need to do is bend that back. So I have to heat that up and bend that forward. I don't want to have to do that to start the game. I want to just be able to play out of the box. So that's, I get why they've done it to save costs, especially with everything going on in 2020 and 2021 and even 2022. Still we're having issues with shipping delays and crises and everything else and materials. But that just leaves an interesting taste in the mouth, I'll put it that way. And then you've got here what's his name? The guy with the coat. The coat's in the wind, blowing in the wind, which is awesome. But it's not defined. Not the greatest of sculpts. Dax, our crazy acrobat, he looks cool. He's doing his thing. He survived transit. He's all good. I do like that. He's very cool, doing all of his crazy dancing. And then we've got, what was her name? I can't remember the names of them all. My goodness, here we go. I'll flip me. Korat. Korat here looks quite menacing as well, which is awesome. Now look, let me put it this way. The sculpts themselves, the poses and things are okay. I have no issues with that. They look fantastic. The colors are designed to look vibrant on the table. I get all that. That's fantastic. I know why. I can understand the process as to why they did it. But in this modern age of gaming, this golden age of tabletop gaming, and we're getting so many amazing products out there, I don't understand why they wouldn't have pushed the envelope just a little bit. I mean, the sculpt for our friend here, Duke, I don't know if you can see that on the overhead there, but he's just, where's the detail? Okay, and again, I've been spoilt because I've been able to unbox and play through games that have some incredible miniature sculpts. Foundations of Rome is a brilliant game. I still stand by that. My Father's Work, the minis in that, I mean, yes, okay, they're all the same, but they still have incredible detail. All of the, CMON stuff is just mind-blowingly crazy. So to have all that to compete against, it's kind of a struggle. But if you're going to have minis like this, I mean, as I said, Dax is great. But if you're going to have minis that just look a bit like why not just have wooden tokens, meeples? That would do the job. So, I don't know. We'll see what the rest of the box holds. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to enjoy the game, and I'm still going to run around the board with these guys and cause trouble. I just think, first impressions count. Yeah? All right, that is all the contents of the core box for Reload Fight for Fame. I am going to now move this aside, and we'll get into the team sponsor pack, which adds more characters, so you can mix it up with these guys, and we'll go from there. So give me a second to move all this out of the way, and we'll be right back with some more crazy Reload action. And here we are with the team sponsor pack for Reload. This is an expansion, adds more characters to the game, and alternate poses, I should say, for all the different characters. So, I don't know, new skins and new abilities themed from their sponsors. So maybe we shouldn't start with this. Let's not start with this. Let's move this aside. Let's come back. Let's go into Rumble, which adds the extra players, so you can play with up to 6. That's cool. Let's look at that one first. And I think the time code on this, I think, is like 75 minutes. That's if you have 6 players. I think it's still 45 minutes before, effectively, depending on which way you go. Let's have a look and see what is going on in the box here. As I said, I'm pretty excited to get this one out to the table and show. Well, I think Charlotte will enjoy this one. She likes any game where she can roll dice and smash me on dice rolling. Charlotte digs. So we'll see how we go. We've got more punch outs galore. We've got all sorts of crazies. We've got, oh my gosh, we've got extra character trays and things. We'll pop that one just over yonder for now. So I think, I'm not sure, but after all the punch outs are done, I think everything will fit in the one box, which is kind of good too. So, yellow player track. Now that is cool, having something other than the blue and the red. It also means potentially you can do a game where you've got multiple teams. So 3 teams can go at it, 2v2v2, which is very cool. That I dig. 2v2v2 is great. We've got extra cards and things for days. Now, I will say these are the sculpts from the original core box. I've just left them there for comparison. Extra player dice, which is pretty straightforward as well. They're etched. They look really, really lovely. We have got some punch outs. Now, punch outs for your extra characters, the extra special abilities, spaces for the yellow player board, your different colored shields and things you can use. Also, all the extra fame tokens, which are cool. And then you've got here more special abilities and trap tiles. That's cool. Explosives, points, and that's based on character ability. And then you've got, let's see, we have some Rumble rules and instructions, because the Rumble mode allows you to have some different things. Oh, that's Rumble in German. Rumble in Spanish. That's another map board, and that's, I could be wrong, maybe it wasn't Spanish. This is the expansion, expands Reload to 5 to 6 players, and basically just gives you the idea of how it all sort of works with the extra players. Elimination, use this mode, players will at least need 2 characters per player. You could just have 6 characters, 6 players running around, that will be fine too. Game modes, how that all sort of works for Team Royale. Different game modes, Battle Royale for 5 or 6, different setups. Setup Team Royale 3 versus 3, so you can have 3v3, capture the flag modes, all that sort of stuff, how you design the maps. That's all pretty straightforward and awesome. I will pop that one over there. And then you've got the extra map builds that you've got. So you've got here Ring of War, you've got Division 3 Waterloo, as opposed to Waterloo, Oblivion, Qatar, not Catan, Qatar. That one I dig. That's fantastic. I do like that. Well played, Kolossal. I like it. I do like you got the player counts on the bottom of the maps as well. A bit of Borderlands action and Mega Cities. Kolossal Island. I do like that there's tongue firmly in cheek with some of the maps. That's fantastic. Very well played. Redemption at its best. You've got Betty Boom, who is here to cause some trouble. Emmett, not Emmett from the Lego movie, just want to make that clear. You've got the Butcher. He looks kind of nasty, but I'm digging that. I like the symbology for all the different folks as well. And then Sora, who runs around and causes trouble and looks like she flies and all that sort of stuff, which is brilliant. All right, let's have a look at the character sculpts, or cards. Cards first. Cards for days. And then we'll go into all the other bells and whistles as well. And remember, we've still got 2 other boxes to get through. So there's going to be, we're spot for choice in terms of characters, which I kind of dig. Different characters with different abilities. Plastic, of course, on the floor. Different characters and different abilities just adds replayability to a game. So it's definitely something worth considering. Now, these cards, if I look here, are in different languages. So those ones can jump over there for now. And then we've got here player aids. So this is how you draw the cards for the different characters, and it gives you explanations of the special abilities, a bit of flavor text as well, which is always nice. And then you've got, again, what you grab, your hideout, sets, your traps, walls, the miniature, the fame marker, etc., etc., etc. And 2 more player aids. Now this I dig, because if you're playing with just 4 players, or you're playing with just 3 players, you could effectively have different sides of each in front of you, so you don't have to keep chopping and changing the card. That's kind of cool too, depending on your play counts. Obvs. All right, minis. Now again, we've got the same thing here, so hopefully we won't have any issues. Unfortunately, we opened the core box, and our friend Dash, or whatever his name is, just unfortunately not feeling well. But hopefully we won't have the same issue with these ones here. Plastic can go on the floor. So Sora is like a aquamarine color. Now that is a sculpt. That's cool. So Sora is flying high in the sky. I don't know if you can see that there. She's got this crazy, crazy, crazy good flight suit on, the wings and everything else for days. You've got this cloud up there. Digging it. Sora looks good. And then we've got Emmett. Now Emmett, as we can see, Emmett has decided that he's going to be leaning back a bit. He's taken a bit of a relax here. But he's probably, he'd be able to be bent again if you want. He's a bit of a healer as well by the look of it, which is cool. You've got Betty Boom, who is crouching down over an explosive device, an IED, and that is just boss. I love the pink, the hot pink of crazy. That's a cool sculpt as well. Digging that. And then our friend the Butcher, now the Butcher is badass. He's big, red, nasty mofo, and he just looks absolutely crazy. I probably should have brought the camera down and done all the minis together. Maybe we'll have another look at that in a moment. But the sculpt for him is a little bit more detailed. He's got those abs cracking on as well, which is awesome. That's cool. Don't mind the sculpts. Look, the sculpts and the poses, as I said before, are all fine. It's just that having to bend things back. And I suppose, let me put it this way, I'll only have to do it one time, and then it'll be fine. But yeah, digging those sculpts. Sora looks fantastic. The explosive device for Betty Boom, that's cool too. Digging that, digging that, digging that. All right, let's have a look at the Capture the Flag module, which is this one here. Again, I'm going to leave the sculpts and I'm going to move everything else out of the way. I do like that you've got the different colors in the fame track. That's very cool. But the Capture the Flag mode is exactly that, a brand new mode of play. It was referenced in the Rumble box as well. So effectively you could argue that you would potentially be able to add, I don't know, I think there's always ways to house rule stuff to make it work for you and for what you're trying to do. The expansion adds team players. It also adds extra characters to use as well. So effectively now that's 12 characters we're potentially going to have to play with, plus their alternate sculpts. That's boss. All right, I do like that very much. Now the Capture the Flag box is for 2 to 4 players, so the Rumble allows that extra components. Let's get all the bits and pieces out of here first. Let's see what we've got here. Cards and sculpts for days. Now I really do hope that everything's going to fit into the one box. We'll see how we go. That one's done. I'll get rid of that one. All right, what have we got here? We have an erratum. Please stick these stickers front and back on the HQ tile with the red flag. The tile will then have the same symbols as the HQ tile with the blue flag. So somebody made a mistake with the iconography and they've given you a solution. They noticed it before it was distributed. Well done, Kolossal. Fantastic effort. Good to know that we are being looked after as backers. We have sculpts. We have capture the flag. Now this is capture the flag. Different language modules. Okay, here we go. Capture the flag is an expansion. So if you capture the flag, whoa, that's some serious pointage. That's what we want. So different characters, different, looks like different extras as well, different tech cards you can use, hex references, end of game. If the game ends due to a flag capture, the HQ token supply being most exhausted, the teams compare fame with the team having the most win in the game, so on and so forth. Capture the flag for days. I'm actually digging this as a mode. I think it's a really good idea. The fact that you've got more map tiles and locations for this as well means unprecedented replayability, and there's nothing to stop you from making your own maps with the tiles as well, which is kind of boss. So different shield markers on the map as well for different players. Hoser Blitz, Daedalus, Cordillera, that's a big map. Reservoir, I like this. That's cool. Different corridor, different maps, different style of maps as well. Magna Arena, that's huge. That's a big map. Long Run, and again, it's another one that's a bit further out. I do like that. Oh, Yesena. Yesena. Correct me if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. That's cool. I love that. Different maps, different layouts. I don't know. You can probably do that with the other style of play as well, but we'll see how we go. All right, so we've got punch outs again for days. We've got Diana, who is looking a bit nasty. She's like a sniper dude, a sniper lady. QWERTY and Buzz. That guy's cool. Little robot. Kezia. Kezia looks nasty. And then you've got Echo as well, which is very cool too. So we'll put those to the side. Let's see what we've got. We've got here some more map tiles. Now that's the red one that we have to fix, I believe. Yes. The flags themselves, which is very cool. Different player tokens and trap tiles as well. Some of the colors might blend a little bit. I don't know how we'll go there. Events, more boards here. And then you've got the flag tokens as well. Now these flag tokens are huge. So if you claim a flag, a red or a blue flag, I do like the double-sided, then obviously it's going to help you win the game a lot faster, which I'm digging. That's fantastic. And then you've got these big lake tiles as well, and the player tiles here, tokens, and you've got all the different iconography, different shield markers and things too. So there's plenty to unpack in these expansions. There's a lot more in the box that I first thought with the weight of them, which is cool. Cards, and then we'll have a look at some minis, and then we'll get into the team sponsor pack, which gives the characters in the alternate sculpts. So our friend here in yellow who's fallen over himself, if the alternate sculpt is intact, then we may just use that. We'll see how we go. I guess if I'm going to go through and bend up a couple of them and fix them, then there's probably no reason to worry about it too much. So we've got here our friends QWERTY and Buzz. So you can choose their characters, a bit of an idea on what they're about. And then, of course, the different things you need to take, the action dice and so on and so forth, which is straightforward. The red flag, which is a straightforward card, and the blue flag as well. And then you've got here the different different language card versions of those fellows. And then you've got the level 3 item cards that are included in this pack. Force Rod, Sonic Cleaver. See, I say that and I think of just this guy holding up a blue hedgehog on a stick. A Repulse Visor, Exo 5 Plasma Thrower, Vaporizer, a Tactical Helmet, that's very Star-Lord, which I kind of dig. Jetpack, Arachnid Pack, give you an extra hand to hold extra weapons and things, that's cool. Seismic Grenades, a Personal Portal, an Exosuit, and a Cornucopia. 5-star items. Or is it 5 1-star items? Maybe a mix. Who knows? Cornucopia. That's very cool. I like that. I like that a lot. That's brilliant. All right. Let's have a look here. Again, yeah, colors are starting to get blended. So we'll have to see how we go in terms of how it also works. Plastic on the floor. Yeah, so these guys have bent as well. See, although this guy is leaning forward because he's been bent in transport or whatever the case may be. However, I kind of dig that because he's a menacing guy who can take an absolute beating. So to have him sort of lumbering forward and leaning in actually suits the character. And I might leave it just as it is. I like that. Plus the orange is a nice touch too. Then we've got QWERTY and Buzz, who are again leaning forward and bent out of shape. Oh, sorry, I should have shown you. Kaiser's here. He's doing his thing. He is leaning forward, looking at absolutely menacing as hell. Hopefully I'm getting the detail here. I will try and get it up close and personal if need be. You got QWERTY and Buzz, who are there. Again, they're leaning quite far forward, as we saw as well. But you've got QWERTY and Buzz. I like the sculpt. I like the fact that Buzz is running around and doing his little thing. Or is he QWERTY? Who knows? Then you have our friend, this is, what's her name? Diana? Or is this Echo? No, this is Diana. Now, Diana has this crazy thing where she's leaning back on her knees, as you do. And again, it's just because she's been bent out of shape. The sculpt is quite nice, though. I like that she's got this big-ass gun and she's ready to take names, and that's cool. And then you've got Echo, who, again, has been bent out of shape with the plastic, which is fine. I mean, Echo looks like she's got her crazy little invisibility suit on, which is very cool. And she's, that nice turquoisey color, which is cool. I like that. I like that. So we've got all the different characters. Now let's get into some alternate sculpts. I'm going to leave that out because I will stick that on there and get that sorted. Capture the flag is there. So I think one thing I will say, the base box has enough storage pretty much for all the components here. That's a given. Looking at all the different components and types and tiles and everything else, I'm pretty sure everything's going to fit in that one box, and that I really dig. So kudos to Kolossal for thinking ahead and for planning that out, particularly with the 12 sculpts we've got here. And I can see I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon putting things together and bending the right way, but it is what it is. I'm now looking at the assortment, knowing that you've got all those different characters to play as, kind of makes me not feel so bad about having to bend them back into shape and the plastics and everything else. So that is kind of good. All right, let's have a look. We were looking at the sponsor pack. Now the sponsor pack is literally just alternate sculpts and different character cards. So we've got different abilities for our folk that we've got down here on the table. I'm assuming there might be some extra items and things in here as well. Corporate sponsorships have come along, taken these guys and branded them with all sorts of bells and whistles. So you've got Cybernetic Solutions, Next Gen Genomics, I should say, and Boost Energy, which is that energy drink that we saw earlier. So lots of character tokens, more trap tiles, more Fame ID tokens. This is heavy. This is heavy. Let's have a look and see what's in the box. Okay, let's see. We've got all the bits here. Oh my goodness gracious. There is a ton of stuff here. And we've got that one. That's empty now. I'll get rid of that. Whoa. Maybe we'll just use these from now on. All right, so we'll come back to the sculpts in just a moment. First things first, we've got these little card sheets which give you combos. So maybe you can team up. I don't know. Assign an action die to an adjacent hex, all characters in that thing. So, I mean, these are just cards that you literally just tear out. But they look like they give Mango Massacre and Punch Quake. So these guys are sponsored by Boost Energy and therefore have certain abilities relating to that, which is kind of cool. Emmett and Sora have a Guava Green Booster and Blueberry Blast Off. The cards are the same on both sides. I'm not quite sure why they needed to be double-sided, but whatever, it is what it is. Pounce and Telescopic Vision for Blitz and Diana. Oh, and more of the same. Doubles. 3 of. Maybe these are reprints. I'm not sure. I've got a couple of each that's sort of a bit weird. And then again, you've got the same again. Not quite sure what's going on there. Why they're printed all the same. These ones have different languages on the back of them. Okay, but that's okay. So you've got Viper Strike, you've got Targeting Implants, 4 hands is better than 2 for Dax, QWERTY and Buzz, Buzz 2.0, and Korat, Nanite Replicators, which is cool. Obviously some of those cards are designed for different languages and things as well. Toxic pheromones. Again, multiple cards are the same. It's sort of like they've packaged it all into one and shipped it across the board so it covers everybody, which makes sense. But there's multiple copies in here that probably shouldn't be. I could be wrong. Again, Viper Strike, targeting implants, 4 hands is better than 1. I'm not quite sure. I mean, look, they give you a breakdown of all the different character sculpts and abilities that you can use as a combo, perchance, in a team game. But yeah, it's the fact that there's extra copies there just sort of makes my mind boggle a little bit, but that's okay. We have extra tokens. So we've got here extra tokens for the different characters. I think that's for QWERTY and Buzz, and these are for Echo. So that's nice to see all the extra tokens. Extra shield tokens, extra everything basically. So walls you can set up that you can obviously impassable. The different player markers for the characters that are and their factions. So you can have faction versus faction challenges, which is kind of cool too. And then you've got extra tokens again for the different players, the different teams, which is awesome. So you get extra energy boost, extra die rolls, extra healing tokens. That's all fantastic. And then it looks like we've got all the different character boards. So we've got here QWERTY and Buzz with some extra bits and pieces, different character abilities. I'm assuming these dice values might be different as well. You've got Blitz. That's our fellow who's lying on his side, and a cool red sculpt from Next Gen Genomics. Echo is there as well. Diana is part of the red team from Next Gen as well. Kaiser, now he looks basically more like Bane in this particular picture, which is fine. We have no issues with that. That's totally fine. Dax with his multiple-handed goodness and footness. Emmett, who's healing with boost energy. The power of boost energy. Sora, who is using a boost to help flight. Fair enough. Betty Boom is looking like she's going crazy. You've got the Butcher there, who's been sponsored by Boost. So you've got all the different sculpts, all the different iconography and branding. The Duke is out there with his cybernetic enhancements. Oh, his coat does wrap around, so maybe that's meant to be that way. And then you've got Korat, who is lining up with cybernetic solutions and has a crazy cat mask, because why not? Now, because they're a bit more shiny and a bit more pretty, let's bring you down closer for these minis here, and we'll see what they look like in comparison. I'll show you some of the differentials between the two sculpts. So come on down, we'll get in nice and close. All right, so let's check out what's going on with these new minis. Hopefully they're all intact. I will say there's no sticker on this one saying these guys have been damaged in transit. So hopefully, based on that, they should all be okay. We'll see how we go. I do like that they all color-coded in their teams based on their sponsors, which is kind of good. So we've got here, this is it Kaiser? Yes. So this is Kaiser. This is an alternate sculpt of him looking his best. And when I say alternate sculpt, it looks like it's literally, like if I bring up his other friend here, it looks like it's the same pose, just a different color and a slight metallic finish, which the box says alternate poses, alternate sculpts. Maybe I've got it wrong. But, you know, look, they still look cool in the minis. Character tokens, expansion adds, alternate versions. Alternate versions, not alternate sculpts, my fault. However, I will say I'm digging the metallic finish on these guys. They look great. And I will say, while he's still menacing, he's not leaning forward. He is as he's meant to be, which is kind of good. Let's go through the reds. We've got Echo now. Again, Echo here looks intact and isn't leaning at all. She's how she's meant to be. She's got that crazy suit that stops her from being seen. She can use her suit to effectively blend in with the surroundings and become invisible, which is awesome. Then we've got here, this is a Blitz, our running man. Now he has literally doing some crazy, this is how he's meant to be, not leaning on his side like he is in the other sculpt. So that's, I don't know if we saw it before. This is the yellow sculpt out of the box that we saw before, and this is the Blitz that we know and love. So if you put them side by side, it's chalk and cheese. They look very, very different. But Blitz here is ready for action, looking very, very cool. I do like that, absolutely. So far, these ones are definitely ones that I want to use. Obviously, if you're not playing in a team game, that's Diana. She's leaning back a bit like the other one was too. So maybe this one here in the pink is not really, I don't know, it's definitely bent. But Diana here is, I mean, unless you're playing a team game, sorry, just give you a bit of a sharper image. it's going to be hard to sort of discern the different sculpts unless you pick one from each. Oh, we have our first casualty. Let's have a look here. This is it Cybernetic Solutions? There is it Drax? Or Duke, sorry, in his shiny gold pose. That's a much better pose, and that's got much more detail. You can actually see his face and all that sort of stuff, and the cybernetic eye he's got as well, which is very, very cool. Then we have Korat. Now, Korat in this sculpt is actually leaning forward, so her other original sculpt is actually better than this one. But you can still see the mask and the details there too, with that metallic finish, which is nice. Oh, Dax. Oh, Dax. Dax has fallen by the wayside. He's doing a very artistic side handstand. But again, I'm assuming... I guess when I used heat to bend these guys back into shape, I don't want the metallic finish to rub off, but I think that's potentially what's going to happen. And QWERTY and Buzz are very much doing Smooth Criminal and leaning over here, which is a shame because the metallic finish in the paint is epic. I'm digging it. It's very, very cool, but you can see here the sculpts are just not up to scratch. Then we've got, what have we got here? We've got Sora. Emmett is here. Now, Emmett looks good, a nice green finish. I'm digging the boost color. It's quite nice. I like it. He's holding up his thing and he's looking to heal everybody, which is nice. This is more defined too. The health pack is more defined than it is in the other sculpt as well. You got the Butcher, sponsored by Boost. Now, he means business. And it's actually got, you can see the armor there as well, which is fantastic. He's got this big, massive Jax style arms. You can see the definition of the abs. And again, I don't mind the green. The green is very, very cool. Yes, you've got our lovely friend here, Betty Boom, and her insane incendiary weapon that she's setting up for someone. Traps for days. She is there to cause trouble and definitely run around the board and leave a trail of mayhem for everyone else. And then you've got Sora, who is literally doing exactly that. Now, Sora is like a aquamarine green color anyway, so for her to be green, like, it just looks good. This is great. I love the metallic finish. Bending plastic aside, this green team are pretty much the dream team in that respect. They don't have to worry about that. They're all good. They're all good to go and ready to get out there and kick ass, take names, and do it for their team. So that's fantastic. That green team is brilliant. I love it. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of Reload and the 3 expansion boxes. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I ragged on the minis a little bit, only because it's just a bit disappointing. However, the gameplay and the contents of everything else is still pretty solid. I'm not too worried about that. It's going to look fantastic when it gets to the table. In fact, why not? Let's have a look and show you what it looks like when everything is set up and ready to go. Let's roll that footage. Worth the wait, yeah? So at least then it gives you an idea of how the map's set out, how all the pieces are moving around the board, the player board, all the different dice and everything else, which is fabulous. Again, storage solution for this game, storage in spades, which is really nice. And the fact that you can store all those additional rule sheets and everything else underneath the tray if you need to for extra space. Very, very handy as well. But that's it for this one. That's it for Reload. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've played this one, by all means, let me know how you went. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you break even? Did you manage to hit a reload token? Did you capture one of those flags? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll get back to you when I get a chance. Otherwise, folks, that is it for Reload. We have plenty more content coming your way. Lots of D&D stuff, lots more unboxings, playthroughs, all that sort of stuff. The micro reviews are doing really well. I will see you back here for epic content. Until then, get out there, be nice to each other, and above all, play some epic, epic, epic board games. We'll see you back here next time, folks. Until then, it is bye for now.